Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. I'm here on traditional territory of Treaty 6 First Nations, as well as sacred place to the Métis people of Alberta, who share a deep connection with this land. About an hour ago, we got our first look at Bill 21. It's called the Red Tape Reduction Statutes Amendment Act. Sounds kind of boring. It's a really large bill. It touches on several ministries, so we'll have more to say about it in the coming days. But here's my initial response to the changes in the Education Act. Not boring at all. Every child in Alberta, we believe, deserves a high-quality education, reasonable class sizes, and a quality curriculum. The UCP, however, is deliberately sabotaging all three of these in public, Catholic, and Francophone schools. Families deserve a minister focused on them, not on their own personal ideological goals. And what we have here is an act to cover up how much money taxpayers are forced to subsidize wealthy private schools. This bill is the opposite of transparency. It's a deliberate concealing of information from Alberta families and taxpayers about how their money is being spent. So as contributors to private school funding, Alberta taxpayers should have a right to know what other revenue streams those schools have and what their balance sheet looks like. While school fees and education property taxes are climbing for all families, many will be left asking why some schools are allowed to charge excessive fees and then withhold that information from the public. Adriana LaGrange and the UCP cannot be trusted with public education. But today I want to commit to you that an NDP government will be completely transparent in the spending of public dollars in the education system. Thank you, and we're happy to take your questions.
Thank you, and I'll start with questions on the floor. And then we'll go to questions on the phone. Just a reminder to press *9 if you're joining us on the phone. Use the raise hand function if you're joining us via Zoom. You can say your name and your outlet at the top. We'll go to our first caller.
Oh, hi, it's Catherine Rakowski with Alberta Today. So what information is available to government currently from an independent school?
Yeah, my understanding is that there's a full transparent balance sheet and that you get all of the information about how much fees are collected as well as how much is on the balance sheet. So how much might be in reserves and otherwise. And in this act, it appears that that's a complete removal of that level of transparency. So instead of being able to know how much fees they have and how much money they have in the bank, that information won't be available to the public anymore.
You follow up, Catherine?
No follow-up for me.
We'll go to our next caller.
Hi, it's Michelle Fontaine from CBC. Oh, I spelled my name with 3 L's. That's good. I wanted to know, Sarah, do you have any sense of why this could possibly be happening? I know that I'm sort of asking you to sort of read the minds of the government, but what possible reason could there be for this, them eliminating this requirement?
Yeah, thanks for the question. And we have been working with them for 3 years, so we've gotten a bit of a taste of just how secretive they can be. And media outlets have actually named them the most secretive government in Canada. Often it was about their failure to comply with privacy information, FOIP legislation, and to be open and transparent in that way. But now they're actually even changing the laws to make them illegal for them to be more opaque and to keep more things behind closed doors rather than sharing them with the public. So I suspect that a lot of public Catholic and Francophone school families who are seeing their school fees go up and their education property taxes go up, whether you have kids in school or not, your education property taxes are going up this year under the UCP. At the same time, the UCP is talking about boasting, record revenues and significant profits and surpluses, downloading more costs onto ordinary Albertans through things like education property tax increases as well as school fees. It's about $144 million in this upcoming year. And they're also continuing to give more money to private schools, but now they're not even going to be telling Albertans how much money they have, how much money those private schools are charging in fees, and how much is in their bank account. So I think that there are probably a lot of Alberta families asking, why are my fees going up, and where is this money going? And now the UCP, through this bill, is going to make it harder to find out that information and getting rid of any public reporting requirements that I can tell when it comes to private school funding by tuition fees and surpluses.
Any follow-up, Michelle?
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
We'll go to our next caller.
Hi, this is Lisa Johnson calling from the Edmonton Journal. Thanks for taking my question. I'm wondering, so Minister Fair said today that the focus of this bill is increasing accountability on the reporting of how public funds and public dollars are being used, referring to the public funding that these schools get. So I'm wondering if you think that, what your reaction to that is. Do you think that there's any positive here in the changes that are being made around reporting to the government?
Well, the government is one stakeholder, but the people who actually fund everything are the people of Alberta, and they deserve to have more transparency and accountability, and the government is actively taking that away in their amendments to this act. So I don't know why the minister thinks just giving this information to her is good enough. Every Alberta taxpayer should have a right to know where their money is being spent, and when there are significant surpluses and large numbers being charged for tuition, they deserve to know that as well.
You follow up, Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm wondering if there's any improvement do you think on the things that today the government touched on increasing transparency for parents who are part of private schools. Do you think there's any improvement on that?
You cut out a lot. Did anybody else in the room? She should speak up. Can you try one more time, Lisa? I'll listen extra close.
Oh, sorry about that.
No problem.
I'm wondering, like, basically the way that I understand it, and I'm still trying to fully understand it, is that the bill will require private schools to report directly to parents. And I'm wondering if you think that's an improvement or if that's good enough.
Yeah, thanks for the question. And, when you give parents a bill, the parents are going to know how much money you're charging them in tuition. So it shouldn't be a shocker that parents should know how much the government, well, not the government, how much private schools are charging them. But the shocker here is that they're not just getting money from parents or from other corporations and sometimes outside interests. They're also getting money from the government, and that means they're getting money from every single taxpayer in the province is putting money towards them as well. So that's why when Albertans are funding something, they should deserve a level of transparency on what those other revenue streams are for those, in this example, schools, and what their balance sheet actually looks like. So, for parents to know how much they're being charged, of course they're going to get information because they're the ones paying a lot of these fees often, but it shouldn't stop there. All Albertans should be able to have that level of information and transparency.
We'll do one more pass for questions. Star 9 if you're joining us on the phone. Raise hand if you're joining us via Zoom. And seeing none, that's all for today. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Much for watching, and to learn more, check out albertasfuture.ca.